Okay. Good morning, guys. Um, so I've been trying to record content for the past 2 days. Things have not been going as planned, but I'm not gonna let that stop me. We're gonna keep restarting and redoing it until something happens because I gotta figure this out regardless. So recently I've been trying to go from editing and recording on my phone to editing and recording on my camera. And it hasn't it's been a tough journey because this is not my only camera. I bought an actual, I have a Canon camera, a photography camera, and that one's going to take a lot longer to learn, and it doesn't have a screen, so I can't really see myself. But my channel is more so vlogging, and that wasn't really a vlogging camera. It was more so for photography and heavy recording. But I'm not there yet. So we starting small, but it seems like the quality on this camera is sucky. Honestly, the quality on this camera, I appreciate this camera, but it doesn't seem clear to y'all. Can y'all see me? Am I clear to you? And can you hear me well? Because I take the recording from the camera, and then I put it on my computer. I import it to my computer so I can edit and things like that. And then when I import the recording and stuff to my computer, it's the quality on the actual, the quality of the video sucks. It looks groggy, it looks foggy, it doesn't look focused, the sound is weird. And I would like to know, like is this giving what it's supposed to give? Or maybe I need to change my editing software on my computer. Maybe I need a better one. Maybe because when I put it in my editing software, it sucks too. It gets worse because of it has its things where it wants you to pay for 1080 and all the other stuff, all the HDs and all. It wants you to pay for all of that, and it takes it down. So then I'm only posting like 720 quality, and that's not what we're supposed to give. That's definitely not what we're supposed to give. I like to post my stuff in 1080 or 4K. But for some weird reason, and this is a 4K camera, for some weird reason, all of my stuff is not coming out correctly. So I still have things to figure out. But we not gonna let that stop us from recording content. So if I'm switching from camera to phone, it's me still trying to figure things out. But just letting you guys know ahead of time. Hopefully this video comes out good. Hopefully I can let the warning. Hopefully this come out good. And if it doesn't, then y'all can see what I mean, and hopefully somebody can help me, because there is something I'm probably not understanding. There's something I'm not understanding. But when I figure it out, we're gonna be back in the business. Honestly, I'm already thinking about restarting the channel, because when I look back on the other videos, you can definitely tell that I'm still learning, but I also want it to be there so you guys can see the journey of me learning and getting better in my quality and all this other stuff. So I'm thinking about it, but nobody starts off their YouTube channel perfect. So I'm gonna leave them there, and then we'll see in the future. We'll see what the future holds for those old videos, because I look back on them and I'm like, could be so much better. But I'm trying not to compare myself to other YouTubers and other creators and stuff like that, because I'm just starting. So we'll figure it out. We're gonna try harder. We're gonna try so much harder. We got this. And watch me over until my will runs dry. Sin, I owe me, baby, baby. Okay guys, so I feel like looking at my channel, you can't tell what I am yet because I'm still trying to figure it out. But I do want my content to be based around vlogging and letting you guys know what's happening in my physical health and stuff like that, my health, my lupus journey and stuff like that, because that was the main reason that I started the channel. But I feel like I haven't given you guys an in-depth version of what lupus really is. Like, I've said things about it in my previous videos, but I haven't given you guys a genuine conversation of what lupus is and how it affects me and all the things that are like really going on. Like I've been beating around the bush. Like, I've been telling you guys things, but I haven't told you guys anything. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I have stuff right here so I can give you guys like actual, like, I'm gonna give you guys actual facts. I don't want to say anything I'm not supposed to say because, again, like I said, I'm also new to lupus. I don't know everything. I'll tell you what I do know, and then the rest is really up to what? It had never been wrong before. Oh, did I just forget my password? I did for a second. Okay. Oh, pardon. Y'all are seeing the side effects and what it is, like, right in front of you. I'm just like, me forgetting my password, that don't like all that stuff. Okay, so basically, I was diagnosed with lupus August 19th. I think it's August 21st right now. I have a doctor's appointment August 22nd, tomorrow. I plan to take you guys with me. Hopefully I can get some good footage out of that. But I was diagnosed, like, it's been a month and a day. I was diagnosed a month ago, and I still can't pronounce the exact lupus that I was diagnosed with. I don't know what it is. It's just hard for me to say. So I'm going to try to say it. Please. Systemic lupus erythematosus. I think that's like as good as it's gonna get. I know it sounded really robotic, but the name, that's the name. And this specific lupus attacks your brain. For people like y'all, are like, people are like, they run their day normal. They can regular routine, regular everything. For people with lupus, it's like you can have a normal day, but it's gonna be blocked. It's that's like one of the best ways to explain it. Your whole day is blocked. Things don't load how they would before. So in my mind, everything is blocked off. In my mind, everything is like, I could have thought about this before. I could have wrote about it. I could save it 100 times in my mind, but it's blocked. I can't get to that information. I can't access that information anymore. And there are things that I need to remember, especially now more than ever, because I'm about to turn 18. I gotta remember a whole bunch of stuff that I didn't have to remember before because I had my mom. But and like, I'm about to go to college. I got things to remember, and my brain wants to play the blocking game right now. It's not funny. But literally how I think about it is California fog. That's literally how I think about it. Like, when my brain starts to, it loads like Firefox. Literally, it loads like Firefox. It like, you could think about something so hard, like, you're like, I'm trying to remember, I can't remember. It's part of
It's part of lupus. Other things that are part of lupus is body pain. It affects your body a lot. You get tired way faster. You get tired faster. You can't move how you used to. Your endurance, everything's affected. Lupus is a chronic illness. Everything's affected. Everything. There's nothing off limits when it comes to getting lupus. It could affect your kidneys. It could affect your inside organs extremely bad. God has blessed me with not allowing that to happen. It doesn't affect my organs really bad. I don't have that kind of lupus, but I mean my inside organs, but it does affect my brain. So my bodily functions. Just my but so I can give you guys an actual definition of the disease. Lupus is a disease that occurs when your body immune system attacks your own tissue and organs. Yeah. And inflammation. I get major inflammation in my my feet and my ankles, but it can affect like a lot of your different body systems. Like it's basically your cells fighting themselves. Like your cells are like your cells are fighting your good cells. Like your body thinks you're the enemy. It affects your joints as well, because at first what was it? Something I didn't know that was like a part of it was joint pain, because I was playing volleyball before I got diagnosed. I was playing volleyball every single day, and I would wake up in the morning and my hands would be like stuck. My hands and certain joints in my body would be stuck, and I thought it was volleyball. So I'm just working hard. That's it, and that's why, like, you know, like trying to like make excuses. I'm like, man, I'm just sore. Like I need to get out there. Like I'm just sore. I'm making excuses, and I'm like, didn't know that joint pain was one of the things that like people don't know that comes like when you have it. So I'm just thinking that I need like more vitamin C or something. This strand is like, she not giving. She gotta go. Like all these knots, like but joint pain, I didn't know. I'm like giving myself a hard time. I'm like, oh, all this joint pain, I'm sore. I'm waking up like 10 times worse than the other girls, but I'm still going just as hard. I'm like, you know what? I could never understand. Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm hurting. And I would ask the girls, I'm like, are you guys like in pain? Like, are you all sore? They're like, no, I'm in pain. I'm sore. And I know it's not because like I didn't work out or anything like that, because I was still dancing. So I'm still active. I'm like, oh, okay, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is not normal for me. But I was waking up like so sore, so tired. And I was still pushing myself. I didn't know that it was a part of the lupus. I didn't know anything. And another thing with like lupus, like your body cannot handle, oh, my dog. Your body cannot handle things the same way. Like, okay, before, when I would like, you're also gonna like with lupus, there's a lot of needles, but before I would go get my blood drawn and I would be completely fine. But now I go get my blood drawn, and for lupus, they need to check your blood count, your platelet count, and like a lot of other things, because my counts were extremely low. Like I needed blood transfusions. I needed platelet transfusions, and like my counts were just low. My white blood cells, all of it is just all bad. So what was it? I would like go get my blood drawn and I would be completely fine. But when you have lupus, they have to take a lot of blood. They take a lot of blood. They constantly check your counts. It like you constantly need to go get your blood checked. And now when they take my blood, they take so much of it and I like almost pass out. Your body doesn't react to everything the same. And then on top of that, like lupus affects your social life. It affects your mental. Well, of course it affects your mental, but it affects like how you mentally react to everything else. Lupus just it affects everything. It affects everything. One of my major problems with lupus right now is the medicine. The medicine is like not vibing. One of the major effects for like lupus is the medicine. Yeah, because what they do is I was in the hospital for 2 weeks, and they put me on mycophenolate and they put me on prednisone. Those are my two main medicines. There's another one as well, but I can't pronounce that one. They put me on two medicines. And they put me on prednisone. Prednisone is a steroid that works really, really fast. It grounds your lupus. It helps you. It helps you, right? Prednisone also has some of the worst side effects. It's annoying at this point. I can't wait to go to my doctor and ask him what are we doing about this prednisone, because I cannot stay on 60 milligrams of prednisone. People who stay on 60 milligrams of prednisone only get around 5 hours of sleep. Guys, I have not been sleeping. I've been waking up at 3 in the morning every morning, and I have no problem with that. That is a habit that I would like to keep and you know try and put into my regular routine when like stuff gets normal. Like honestly, or like waking up at like 4 in the morning is like really good. 4 or 5 in the morning, I cut myself some slack because I'm a sleeper and I love to sleep, but 4 to 5, waking up at 4 to 5 is good for me, honestly. I don't want to over. It's so easy to gain weight on prednisone. Like my weight has been fluctuating. It's been up and down. When I first got diagnosed with lupus, I was around 118 pounds. And then I jumped up to like after the prednisone, like the first week, I believe, I jumped to 130. And then like a week after that, I went to like 123. And like right now I'm like 127. Like my weight has been fluctuating. It's going up and down. And some days my clothes fit and some days they don't, type situation. But that is a serious problem with like weight and stuff like that is like a serious problem with me already, because I'm a teenage girl and I have all this stuff in front of me that's like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty with her nice body and all this other stuff, and like it affects your mental state of that. You're like, oh well, I look like this right now on this prednisone. I'm not saying I look bad, but like I know I don't look like how I used to look then, like back then, how my body used to look. I don't look like that anymore. Things have changed, and it's like sometimes it's hard to accept. Like you look bigger, you look smaller, you look this or that, and people do point it out. Like they don't have a problem being like, dang Kendall, you look like you gained a little bit of weight. Like one of the biggest things on this prednisone that I have taken over is the moon face side effect. Everyone calls me a chipmunk, and I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, but everyone does call me like little chipmunk, little thing. You know, I don't feel no way towards it. It's just one of the side effects that I did take on was the circular face, and I don't normally have a circular face, and so it's so weird seeing me like this, like with my circular face, and like my lips have gotten bigger. Like things are changing. But they said when the medicine goes down, the milligrams go down, then so does the moon phase, so does everything else, because things start going back to normal. I haven't been to school. I haven't been to like physical school, and I probably won't be able to go back into school until after December, when the medicine starts, like when all the medicine starts going on and we start getting things together, because this is a process, but it's a slow process. And that makes it 10 times worse because I get bored so quick. I get bored like really, really fast. So I don't have it for the rest of your life. It's your best friend now, so you might as well get used to her and try and make the best of it. My nose keeps running. I don't know if it's like my allergies. My allergies are like really kicking my butt or something. I don't know what's happening right now. It's been like hard. Like for everyone else, I guess. Like I'm watching, like, yes, it's hard for me because I'm going through it. Like I'm seeing it right in front of my eyes. I'm going through the pain. I'm doing all that. But I'm saying it's like hard for everyone else because like I'm watching them go through it too with me and seeing how they react to certain things and how I react to certain things, and certain days are just not as good as other days, like at all. It's harder. I've like as on this journey, I've lost some of my hair and I've cut my hair. Yep. On this Lupus journey, I've cut my hair, and I cut my actual hair, so now I have this little fro going on. I used to have a big old little, like a lion's mane, but I got a fro going on now because I cut my hair because it was coming out because of the lupus. That's a side effect. That's something that affected me big because I was so attached to my hair, and that affected me heavy. So another big thing that's like affecting me is how tired I get. I am a very, I don't want to say pippy because I don't like the word pippy. Like pippy is so like, but I'm a very like upbeat person, and I use a lot of my energy, and I'm like, always like, positive. I'm like, yeah. And something with lupus is like, I can't do all that extra. It's like I can't do all the extra that I am because it makes me tired. So it's like changing the way that I act towards people. Like not because I want to, but because it's just I don't have that energy anymore to like give to other people. And I still try to be like my funny, goofy self. I still crack jokes. I still do all the extras, but sometimes there are days where I know that the steroid has taken over my mood, because the steroid is supposed to make you, well, the way my doctor says is act more like a teenager. If anything, I've honestly been more positive than ever. It's crazy. I've been more positive than ever because I want to come at this illness with positivity. I don't want to come at this illness with, depression and like, why did this happen to me? Because why does stuff happen to anybody? Like, baby, it don't even matter. Just live your life and try to figure it out. That's all you can do at this point. So we're gonna skip the depression phase of being like, why did this happen to me? Like, no, we're gonna skip that phase. We're not gonna go through that phase. Like, why do we need to go through that phase? It's happening. So now what do we do? Like, that's just how that's all I can say about that. Like, we're just on a roll here, and I know that some days it affects my attitude more than other days, because some days, like, I'd be so happy for no reason, and I'd be so productive and ready to get stuff done, and then there's days where I'm like, get out of my face, like, for real, like, get out of my face, get out of my room, I want to be by myself. I already know how I act. It makes me feel bad because I don't know how to control it. And there's like a mental struggle with prednisone. The steroid it takes over a lot of different functions in your body. And like it takes over a function in your brain as well, and it makes you feel like you're always hungry. You're not hungry. Like you could have ate, like you could have just ate. I just ate, and there's there's like a little birdie in my head telling me that I'm still hungry. My stomach is still growling. My body is doing things that it would do if it was hungry, even though I just ate. That is one of the biggest mental struggles with prednisone. You're not hungry. I promise you. Like I have to keep telling myself, you're not hungry. I just ate. I have to keep telling myself that because there's a mental bug in like the medicine that makes you feel like you're hungry all the time, even when you're not. Something I've had to like put into my routine is working out just constantly. Like I'm always walking my dog, I'm always doing a little workout routine, like little 5-minute things like that. Always, because with this prednisone, it makes you gain weight so crazy. Like it's so crazy how fast people will gain weight with prednisone. Also, eating right. You have to change the way you eat. And I'm not a healthy eater, y'all. I just eat. Because I love me some Hot Pockets. I love me some Hot Pockets. You know what? Raising Cane's is the best restaurant ever, bro. I love Raising Cane's. Like, oh my God. I am not a healthy eater. One of the biggest challenges for me is eating healthy, if anything. Because I feel like you eat healthy and then there's no flavor and you're eating bunny food. I have always felt like that. Like my mom made these, we had these the taco salad bowls, and the only part that really had me was the meat in the salad bowl, because the rest of it tasted like straight up bunny food. And the only time I eat salads is after I eat a steak. Like, you see how it doesn't make sense? I don't eat healthy, guys. I don't. I've never been the type to. I don't claim it. So one of the things is eating healthy. Like, you have to make sure you're low sugar, low carbs, low this, low that, low fats, no, almost to no animal food. And that's something I eat all the time. I had a Philly cheesesteak last night. Like, something I really struggle with is the food part of this, is making meals that are healthy for me and actually liking them and eating them. It's very difficult for me because I like to eat food. I like meat, I like flavor, I like all that. And I'm allergic to a lot of things that also stops me from eating like how everyone else would on prednisone, like the seafood and all that other stuff. I'm allergic to seafood. I'm allergic to watermelon, and I don't know what else I'm allergic to because it could be anything. So I have to be careful when eating certain things. Like my list is shrinks a lot. So I don't want, like, that's something that is big when it comes to that. And you know what? My shoulders hurt right now. I have done absolutely nothing. Today I woke up with like shoulder pain and back pain and just bodily, like I woke up sore for absolutely no reason. I don't know what that's about. But lupus affects everything. And I wanted to get more in depth with you guys and let you guys know like the real. I'm not hiding anything. This is like something, this is for real. This is all I can give you guys. Like, for real. This is not, lupus affects everything, and it makes your life a little bit harder than it was before. I got these nails for my lupus because one of the symbols for lupus is purple butterflies. I love butterflies. I have butterflies and tattoos all over me, and I didn't even know I had lupus. It's kind of felt like a sign, low-key. But lupus is something that can be triggered. It could be a traumatic response to the body. I didn't always have lupus. My lupus was triggered by something else. It's just something that happens when you go through trauma. Anybody can get lupus, but it does affect mostly African American girls and women. That's who it mostly affects. And when I first got diagnosed, I immediately went to like YouTube and like TikTok and social media and stuff like that. And I was like looking up people who have lupus, like trying to find people who are going through the same thing as me. And the result was so small. Like, there's like not people explaining to others what lupus is really like. So I decided to make my YouTube account and, like, start posting what lupus is like, and what this does to people, what journey they go through. Because I was looking for people who are going through the same thing as me, and I could barely find anybody. So I might as well start something. What it's like living with a chronic illness. This is, as a teenager who's a senior, who's just getting out there, this is what it's like. And like, now I'm new to lupus, I'm new to my healing journey, and I'm new to YouTube, and I'm new to social media, I'm new to all of this, because now I gotta start putting myself out there to help other people who might have lupus and can't find anybody who has lupus and stuff like that, and see if they can vibe with me, and we can start to get to understand where to go from here. So I couldn't really find anybody who was like living with a chronic illness like lupus, or even my type of lupus, and putting it out there. I found a couple people, but not a lot. Like, I just felt like now I need to share my journey, because it feels like nobody else is sharing theirs. So I hope to reach out to people who have lupus, people who have chronic illnesses, people who are going through this as a teenager, people who are, even, you don't have to be a teenager, just people who are going through this for real, and like they're just starting. Me too, girl. I'm trying to record, but I'm trying to record in smaller videos so that it can still like import and do all the stuff that it needs to do, because it won't do that. Like, and then my storage and all this other stuff, because I'm recording on my phone, because I can't trust my camera, because it'll delete half of my footage, and the quality is like the sound quality is really like wonky. I don't know if you guys saw it in like if I put it in this video. I think I was supposed to put it in this video of what it's like recording with that camera, but I'm trying to record things in like smaller videos so it could be easier to import it in my computer. So I keep like, restarting and like turning on and turning off the camera, because I don't want to do too much. So hopefully my storage stays, because I gotta delete some of these videos afterwards. People change. There's nothing you can really do about that. Like, you're gonna lose friends. Like, being a teenager with lupus, like, you're gonna lose friends. You're gonna see who's really there for you and who's really not there for you. Yeah. I found out quick, so maybe you'll find out too. Also, living with lupus, you're gonna realize that like your body is really a temple. This is what God gave you, and you're gonna have to really take care of it. Like, my skin's changing. Like, I'm one of those girls who hate acne. I hate acne. Like, breakouts, and I've been having one of the worst breakouts ever, this is like bad to me. This breakout is bad. Like, lupus does not care. It affects everything, your hormone imbalance, all that stuff. Like, everything's changing. Why is my shirt like just, this is not my shirt, this is my mom's shirt, and I stole it, and it doesn't fit me, and I'm like, why is this shirt like, no, that's why. That's why. But it affects everything. Yep. I think that's all I have to say about what lupus does and what it is and what it can do. And I'm just gonna take you guys, hopefully they allow me to, but I'm just gonna take you guys on the doctor's appointment tomorrow. And you guys could get a feel, and then maybe we could get some good news, and then hopefully I could do a little, I don't think I'm going to like record too much of the doctor's appointment. Like, some of it, like, especially if they give me a dose or something, I'll record the dose. I'll record probably bits and pieces of the actual doctor appointment itself, and then I'll give you guys an update of what the doctor is saying afterwards. Okay. Alright, hi guys, it's the next day, and we're going to my doctor's appointment. Hopefully I can get something, some good footage in there. If not, then I can't, but I will tell you guys what's being said afterwards and give you guys an update. 'Cause, yeah.
So we were at my doctor's appointment, and as soon as we got in there was nobody in there because, like, my doctor had personal issues, and no one called my mom and let us know that they canceled all the appointments for today. So they moved my appointment to October 28th, which is Nevada Day. And which is Nevada Day. It's fine. I'm not having any severe problems or anything like that, and if I was to have any problems, like any brain fog or anything, I am able to like go get my medicine still, and my IVs and things like that. But the appointment was mostly more like a checkup and, you know, medicine updates and all that other stuff. But it's fine, because if they do update my medicine, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna send another paper to the house letting us know the rules and what medicines are switched to what times and how to do all that other stuff. But yeah, so I'm not gonna take you guys on the appointment today because I don't get an appointment today. So there's nothing to update you guys with about how my health is going, but I am glad that I get to tell you guys what lupus is like in general. So I'm just gonna end the video here because we don't have an appointment to talk about and we don't have any updates. And hopefully I get to take you guys on the doctor appointment October 28th. Yep. We're just gonna go back home. We're gonna go back home. Right now Mom's in UPS, but we're gonna go back home. And that's it. I hope you guys have a nice one. Love you so much. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later.